Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, we are going to read an article written by DHH, the creator of Omarchy. So people call him DHH. It's kind of hard to pronounce his middle name, so I will call him DHH too, okay? I hope that's okay. And we will find out what's the philosophy behind Omarchy, why it's very popular for normies like me. So let's get started. A petabyte worth of Omarchy in a month. So I actually installed Omarchy past a few weeks ago and I'm using it right now, and so far so good. So let's read. Omarchy didn't even exist before this summer. I did much of the pre-release work during the downtime between sessions at the 24 hours of Le Mans in June. And now, just a few months later, we delivered a petabyte of ISO, ISO in the past 30 days alone. That's about 150,000 installs of Omarchy Linux distributions. I am maybe one of the 150,000 installs. But in fairness, so far so good, especially the latest one that they did, which is Omarchy 3.1. I have a video if you want to check. You can actually install it very fast. You just do one click, and then after that, you can install Windows and Linux, which I tell you, it's pretty cool. The fact that I'm only using N100 for my CPU, it runs smoothly. So I give that to Omarchy. Kudos to the team. All right. I've been involved with a lot of successful open source projects in the past quarter of a century or so. Nose itch. Okay. Ruby on Rails. I'm not so familiar with Ruby on Rails, guys. What is it? First and foremost, let's open Ruby on Rails real quick. I want to see. Okay, compress and complexity of modern web apps. Oh, it's like a programming language. Is that correct? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not so familiar with Ruby on Rails. Okay. First and foremost, but nothing, not even Rails, grew as quickly as Omarchy has been growing in the first few months of its life. It's rather remarkable. Oh, so even David is shock mode with how the people embrace Omarchy. This is what product market fit looks like. Doesn't matter if the product is free or not. The fit is obvious. The stream of people who don't just enjoy Omarchy but love it is seemingly endless. The passion is palpable. I think why people love Omarchy for me, it's because it's very user friendly and it's already pre-customized. Everything that you need so far is already there. All you need to do is just learn some keyboard techniques, which you can actually read in the manual. Very easy. So no wonder why people love it. So let's keep going. But why and why now? As per usual, there are a lot of contributing factors, but key is how Apple and Microsoft have been fumbling their relationship with people who love computers in general and developers in particular. Yeah, I can relate because first and foremost, Apple and Microsoft sucks. Okay, that may be inappropriate word, but it's okay. Okay, so they have lots of ads now in their phone and computer that, oh my god, it's so hard. Even for me, who is not really I'm not a newbie, but I'm not expert. Maybe I'm just like in a middle. Okay, and for developers, based on my husband, who is a developer, he said that Apple and Microsoft don't really take care of their developers lately. So maybe why that's why Omarchy is loved by the market now because of its user friendly, no ads, and it's open source. So Microsoft is killing off Windows 10, which in turn cuts off a whole slew of perfectly fine computers made prior to around 2017 to 18. They also seem intent on shoving AI into everything. Yeah, sure, AI. And wavering on whether that might be optional or not. Oh, and Windows, still Windows. Decades of patching cracks in a foundational that just never was all that solid to begin with. Yeah, especially Microsoft 11 is not so good. When they release an update or patch, the purpose of update is to fix something that is broken or not working, but the update sometimes break instead of fixing. What the hell, right? Okay, never mind. Let's keep going. Apple too has turned a ton of people off with Mac OS 26.
How do you pronounce it? Tahoe, liquid glass, and flattering software quality. They're also cutting off all Intel-based Macs from future updates. A Mac Mini sold as recently as 2023 is now end of life. This is before we even talk about how poorly the company has been treating developers, depending on the App Store bureaucracy. Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that when developers make apps and put it in App Store, and when Apple see that it's booming, they will just steal the code. Is that true? I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm giving gossip here. Oh my God, I'm just a starting YouTuber. Then I got shut down. Okay, I'm not really sure about that. Forgive me. Okay. Meanwhile, Linux has never looked better. Hyperland, the tiling window manager at the heart of Omarchy, is sensation. Okay. I love Hyperland. I like the tiling window, but sometimes I realize that they give a lot of tiling window. You can do what how big how small your window. I hope they do some limit like 4 or 5, but it's okay. I guess they give options to users to do how many tiling window they want. But sure.
How are you gonna read with this very small thing? And you can do more than this. I wish they can only do 5 or 4, or maximum of 6. Like 2, 4, or 3, and then 3, 6.
It's brought an incredible level of finesse. Detail and style of the tiling window management space. Superb animations, lightning fast execution, and super light resource consumption. Yeah, I agree with that. Super light, fast execution, superb animation. The one that I don't like about Hyperland in their tiling window is you can tile your window as many as you can, but sometimes it makes it so small that what's the point of tiling because you cannot see, but maybe they give you an option. It's your Linux computer, do what you want. Okay. All right, let's go. The historic gap in native, what's it, graphical user interface. GUI apps has never mattered less either. The web has conquered all as the dominant computing platform. In the past, say, Photoshop was a big deal. Now it's Figma, a web app that's driving designers. Some too with tools like Microsoft Office or Outlook, which are all available on the web. Yeah, you heard. Yep, it's available on the web. I'm not saying there aren't specialized apps that some people simply can't do without that keep them trapped on Windows or Mac, but I'm saying that there never been fewer. Almost everything has a great web alternative. Yeah, now from long time ago, people like to have apps on their phone and on their computer, but now everything is just like on the web, on the cloud. All right, next. All right. And for developers, the fact is that Linux was always a superior platform in terms of performance and tooling for most programming environments. With 95% of the web running on Linux servers, all optimization and tuning needed to get the most out of the hardware was done with Linux in mind. Yeah, true. Everything, even Apple and Windows, build on top of Linux. That is why even $500 Beelink Mini PC is competitive with M4 Max machine costing thousands of dollars for things like our Hey test suite, which runs on Ruby and MySQL, SQL. Linux is just really efficient and really fast. Finally, I think the argument that owning your computer fully and deeply is starting to resonate. The free software crowd has been making the argument since the 90s, if not before. But it's taken Apple's and Microsoft's recent tightening of the reins on our everyday operating systems to make it relevant for most. Omarchy is a beautiful, modern, and opinionated Linux distribution, but it's also yours. Maybe that's why they put all the tiling as much as you can. Everything is pre-configured, sure, but every configuration is also changeable. Don't like how something works? Change it. Don't like the apps I use? Change them. Don't like how something looks? Redesign it. The level of agency is off the charts. Turns out that plenty of people were starved for just this. All it took was someone who actually put all the pieces together. Ignore the Linux neckbirds who insist you aren't worthy to run Arch or Hyperland without spending 100 hours setting it up from scratch. Okay, setting it up from scratch and invite everyone to the party. Well, if you're a very basic user, I don't think you can install Omarchy, but if they will follow the steps by step procedure, maybe they can, but I don't really think so. So I love Omarchy, but I don't really see that all people will use Linux in the near future, or maybe in the next few 5 years to come, but maybe after 10 years. I don't know. And yeah, I totally agree with this part. You know that some people are kind of mean. When they say you're using Omarchy, it's not the same. They should use Arch or Hyperland or Arch, and you have to really install it from scratch and spend whole day or 2 days figuring everything out. A person in TikTok that said anything except the regular arch goes against its whole philosophy and should not exist. This is what the person said about Omarchy, but I totally disagree with the person. And I hope they stop saying that if you are using Omarchy, you're not really using the Linux and you are just using the easy Linux, and you should install Linux from scratch like other people. Yeah, sure, there are people that likes to do that. They have time and they like to configure everything from scratch, but there are also users like me who is beginner. That's what my husband said. I'm a beginner user. Okay, that you want to do it a simple way or easy way, but you also want to experience the Linux environment and compare it with Windows and Mac. So every overall, I agree to David, and that's my opinion regarding this essay. All right, guys. So if you think I said something wrong, feel free to correct me in a constructive way. Okay, and comment down below what's your opinion regarding this document that David released regarding Omarchy, the petabyte worth of Omarchy in a month. Okay. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.